Hey everybody, welcome to your Sunday morning live stream here with Amazing Fantasy Football. I am your host Chris, along with my buddy, this guy, and I just pointed the wrong direction.
Hey, I'm Josh, and I'm also a host.
Exactly. Oh, I did say you're a host, my bad. Yeah, host. Co-host? Host, co-host.
I am the co-host with the co-most.
You're the hostess with the mostest.
I'm the co-hostess. Host with the co-most. Damn it. Anyways, how you doing today, Chris?
I'm a little sleepy, but not for lack of trying to get decent sleep last night. Just, yeah.
I only slept for like maybe 5 hours, but I feel great today. I've been up since 5:30.
Yeah, not me. Running a
that is also late. Called sleeping in for Josh. So
that's insane. Yeah.
One of my guys at work texted me at like 6 o'clock. He's like, "Hey, sorry for the early text, but," and then question, and I responded like right away. I was like, "Yep, you got it right." He's like, "Okay."
Like, woo!
I'm sure tomorrow he'll be like, "Why were you up so early?" I'm like, "Dude, I get up at 4 every day. 6 o'clock is sleeping in. 5:30 is sleeping in
every day." Yeah, I don't know. Feeling okay. Excited about the Packers Cowboys today. I guess I'm still playing for something, at least one league.
I'm not excited for that game because I think the Cowboys are just gonna destroy the Packers. Like I
hope so. It's one of the reasons I'm excited.
Like I know you're a Cowboys fan, and we're talking about the Cowboys yet again, but like the Packers have just been disappointing from top to bottom for the most part this season.
For sure.
And I'm kind of not really interested in watching this game at all, to be perfectly honest.
From a Cowboys fan's perspective.
Oh yeah, for you, I'm sure you are. But
well, yeah, but also never count out the Packers when it comes to the Cowboys. It's mark my words.
It's true.
We'll see. But
remember way back in the day, in the before times when Brett Favre. It was like one of the first, if not the first, Thursday night football game. It was Cowboys Packers. Brett Favre gets injured. Aaron Rodgers comes in. The wee baby Aaron Rodgers. It was against the Cowboys, and he almost let a comeback win.
And from that point on, he's
great.
Owned the Cowboys. I know he says he's the whatever, he owns the Bears, or he's the Bears daddy, or whatever he says about the Bears, but really it's in the playoffs.
Who's your daddy, and what does he do?
Yeah, so 4-point favorites for Dallas, though. But anyway, enough Cowboys-Packers talk. I haven't checked the TV schedule to see what games I'll get. Also,
well, you only get one channel, so...
Yeah, dude, like 2 weeks ago, I was getting CBS, and I'm like, oh, awesome. And ever since then, it's, nope.
You could just spend some money and get, like, CBS All Access or something, or whatever the hell it's called. Thought, and then you can watch Star Trek.
I would rather, I'm okay. Actually, I like Star Trek, but like old stuff.
All of it. It's all there.
Yeah,
old, new, everything in between. All the movies.
I do like. The movies I can get elsewhere, but I do like Chris Pine in the movies.
Oh,
as a young Kirk.
The first one and the third one.
I'd rather shimmy my way up.
That second one is terrible.
I'd rather shimmy my way up to my attic and move my
you keep saying that and you never do. So you could just
saying a lot of things that I never do. So
I know. I'm well aware of this.
And plus, I can get said games on the NFL app. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have to watch it on my phone, but I'm
You
usually
think so?
watching.
I've never tried it.
Yeah.
I've never tried it on my TV.
Not both games, but I don't know how they decide. But they usually show.
I think what it is, I
regional
saw
ones,
someone
maybe?
ranting about this on Twitter, so it's Twitter, so just grain of salt here.
Did they have a blue check mark?
Oh God, we're not going into that.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not.
But what I was gonna say is that he was like, so I get NFL Plus and I can watch games on my phone or whatever, but they're only the local games that I already get. I was like, oh, well, that's intriguing.
Yes.
I mean,
Yep.
that's cheaper than paying for like what I do is pay for Hulu Live, or you are more of a Sling person because you're weird.
CBS or buying a new antenna or what have you. Yeah. It's usually on my phone.
But I mean, that's still better. Like the $15 a month or whatever it is for NFL Plus is cheaper than the $80 for Hulu Live. That's also Disney. That's also Disney Plus and ESPN Plus as well. But still.
And then in addition, you get to rewatch a game if you're, want to. If you want to watch it full screen, you can just wait for it to be over with, or if you've got plans.
Ever do that.
But I got pumpkin patches and stuff to do, man. Sometimes that's what I do.
You and your fucking.
That's how I listened to the whole Cowboys game. 2 weeks ago? It was on NFL app. It destroyed my phone battery quickly.
I was gonna say you could have just streamed it from like the local radio station in Dallas or whatever.
I mean, it's been the same thing. It's still over mobile data, Bluetooth. It still would have destroyed my battery. I just knew where to find it. All right, that is not the notes that I need. On to some injury news. Notes, and updates. Yep, that's where we're going with this week.
And updates.
All right, we'll read this little. They always give you one of these. Players expected to play include Jonathan Taylor, Aaron Jones, Kyron Williams, Elijah Mitchell. Okay.
Yep.
Kyle Juszczyk. Okay. Deebo Samuel, Jarvis Landry, Christian Watson, Ryan Tannehill, Evan Ingram, and TJ Watt.
Before you go too far, I'm very interested in what Elijah Mitchell is going to do today with the 49ers. I know Christian McCaffrey's there.
I would assume he'd be on the sideline carrying Christian McCaffrey's jockstrap.
No one uses a jockstrap anymore. And
really?
Apparently. Anyways,
you're talking to a non-football player. I did play football in high school, so
I know anyways, I'm not going to go into this tangent. But like I was reading an article last night actually about like how they're talking about giving Elijah Mitchell work today.
Well, they do move CMC around.
They move him around like they're probably best not running him on every single rushing play anyways, because he's had some injury problems. We'll not call him injury prone, but he has had some injury issues in the past. So, and I mean, like the guy can't do everything. I mean, apparently he's shown that he can, but
yeah, right.
He hasn't swam a touchdown in. Just saying.
Cycled one in. A bicycle. What the heck? That's against the rules. But with Deebo, being back from a hamstring, it's like, or I say back. Yeah, he missed week 8, and then there was a bye, so he's back. He's off the injury report. That worries me. That Deebo's kind of your ancillary, guy that fills in maybe at the RB position when CMC splits out in the slot or what have you. But yeah, I mean, they'll find creative ways to probably get the ball into Mitchell's hand. And
I'm not saying that anyone should. Let me be perfectly freaking clear here. I am not saying that anyone should start Elijah Mitchell. I'm just saying I'm interested in what they are going to actually. Yeah, his workload, how he gets used. Are they going to use him as the traditional running back, and then CMC is just going to be out there being CMC?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I could easily see them using Mitchell more in short yardage work than Christian McCaffrey, which Christian McCaffrey has had some success doing, but
absolutely. But
he's also not the
Mitchell is pretty good on the goal line. Like he,
yeah,
a few years ago, was it 10, 14 touchdowns? I can't remember.
Did you say a few? You mean last year or this year?
Last year.
Okay.
All
right. Whatever, Robert Smith.
Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen elbow is expected to be this one's kind of weird. Is expected to be active for Sunday's Week 10 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. ESPN Adam Schefter noted that Allen plans to be active but might still be the backup to Case Keenum. This is basically a
God.
strategic move, so the Vikings don't see if Allen is going to play up until closer to game time. The Bills' medical staff said Allen's injury cannot get worse by playing. The assumption is that this is so contradictory. The assumption is that Allen is going to start unless he suffers a setback pregame. So
what you're saying is that what time is this game?
Noon, I think. Give me a second.
I think you're right. I think if you are a Josh Allen manager, it is noon. We're correct. You Case Keenum on your roster real freaking quick, or
watch it like a hawk.
Yeah, you watch that pre-game and dude, I don't know. But so if you do have Josh Allen, are you even trusting him?
That's what I was gonna say. Let's say he does start. Like, if you have a better option than Case Keenum, and an injured Josh Allen.
Well, I mean, what if you had Kirk Cousins as your backup? Would you start Kirk Cousins over him?
Probably. What's the matchup?
It's literally the Bills and the Vikings.
Game. Yeah. If you could, it's hard. It would have been hard to already have Kirk Cousins on your roster off the waiver, but if you had him for the duration of the year,
that's what I'm
drafted
saying.
them both or what have you. Yeah, go.
I mean, the Bills are just coming off their bye too, so you could easily still have your bye week back.
Although the Bills defense is real good, but yeah, Kirk Cousins is a fine name for something like that. It's better than Case Keenum or a one-armed Josh Allen.
Kirk Cousins or Aaron Rodgers playing your Cowboys, like we talked about.
Cousins.
What about Andy Dalton versus the Steelers?
Ooh, probably go Dalton there.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah,
Daniel Jones versus Texans, and then that's the last one. One more.
I'd probably put Jones above Cousins. Yeah, probably Jones then. Maybe even ahead of Dalton. Yeah,
for sure. One more. Jared Goff versus the Bears.
He was my streamer, so I'm gonna go Goff. Well,
over Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones not a streamer anymore, is he? He's more of a starting guy.
Oh, guys that you could easily have on your roster.
Yeah, I'm going Goff.
Going
with my streamer. Yep.
Okay, interesting. All right, keep going. Sorry.
I expect a ton of points in that Bears-Lions game. So that was Josh Allen for you. We wrung that out. Kyler Murray, more odd quarterback decisions here.
Hamstring, right?
Listed as, what's that?
Hamstring, right?
Yes, there it is. It's a couple of lines down. Kyler Murray listed questionable with a hamstring injury. Will work out pregame to see if he can go, but going into the workout, it is viewed as unlikely that he plays.
Who's his backup?
Colt McCoy, probably one of the best backups.
Ew.
Oh, come on. He's probably one of the best backups in the league.
No.
Yeah, he is. He played fine this year? Played once or twice earlier in the year.
Did he?
Oh, maybe it was last year.
I think you're thinking of last year.
Must have been last year. Yeah, it was last year. So, we might have a backup quarterback battle for the Rams-Cardinals game. Because John Wolford set to start, barring drastic change per source. Matthew Stafford in concussion protocol, as we've talked about a couple times this week.
Uh-huh.
That's your quarterback news, folks. Aaron Jones is off their injury report with an ankle injury. Set to go against Dallas. J.D. McKissick remains out with a neck injury. Deion Jackson was officially ruled out for Sunday with a knee injury. Jonathan Taylor doesn't have an injury designation at all. He's ready to roll.
And no Deion Jackson, so...
That's what I just said right before
Jonathan
that.
Taylor.
Oh,
sorry. I was looking at Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy has played a game or two. Three games he started this year.
This year?
3? What? That was last year.
Yeah, last year.
Nike, sorry.
Okay, that was Jonathan Taylor. This is a little nuance to Zeke that I thought was important to read off here. Cowboys have 3 games in the next 12 days. Remember, they play on Thanksgiving. They've invested in restoring Ezekiel Elliott to health from hyperextended right knee. Final decision on his status to come from Lambeau Field later today, per source. Ed Warder says, per source, I will tell you this. Any doubts, he's out. And that's per Ed Warder. Pretty trusted beat reporter there.
So what you're saying is...
if there's any doubt that he's on the fence about being able to play and play at, approximately 100%, he's going to sit. But that's per source. That's per a beat reporter. Take that in context. The other indications I read earlier in the last couple of days was He's questionable, but he's going to go.
That's everything that I've heard, dude. I mean, I've heard that.
I know. That's why. Here's a little another added thing I included. Jerry Jones expects Ezekiel Elliott to play versus the Packers. That's 2 days old. So, everybody loves it when Jerry Jones opens his mouth. But I don't know. That little tidbit about having 3 games in the next 12 days and being committed to getting Zeke healthy. Yeah, I'd sit him. If that's the case, I would sit him. So I think you're still probably looking at a better share for Pollard. So most folks are probably starting him anyway.
Pollard?
Maybe not in a 10-team. Maybe not in a 10-team redraft.
Probably not.
But maybe in a 12-team redraft and, of course, your deeper leagues.
Probably.
So, yeah, that's it for Zeke. Jarek McKinnon. Might check a last-minute update for him in a moment. He was downgraded Friday to questionable shoulder, knee, hamstring. I'm getting the impression he's not going to play, but I have no confirmation whatsoever yet.
Knees and toes.
Yeah. Keenan Allen, out, hamstring. Mike Williams, out.
Foot?
List his
ankle?
injury.
I think it's high ankle sprain.
Yep, there you go. I just didn't finish reading the paragraph. High ankle sprain. Texans wide receiver Brandon Cooks listed as questionable for Sunday due to a wrist injury. Made the trip to New York and is expected to play versus Giants per source. He wanted to be traded before the deadline, but wasn't. He's going to play.
They also stripped him of his captaincy.
Oh, did they do it like all dramatic, like rip it off his jersey?
I really hope so, man. When I read that, I was like, man, that's exactly what I was thinking. They just sit there and ripped it off of his jersey, and it's just like
put it on the ground, spit on it, and then rub their foot on it. Okay, so his teammate at the same position, Nico Collins, with a groin injury, who is listed as questionable, is expected to play. Chris Godwin is taking steps in his recovery from his knee injury, his ACL, which he's been playing. I had to look this up.
And he's currently playing right now.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought it was an interesting thing that he's, been, quote, getting better every week. And I don't know, his numbers weren't that bad, but they've also been struggling as a whole. So, yeah.
Yeah, something I saw last week in like
ACL,
I think it was a Bucks game, is that like the Bucks have the highest drop percentage by their wide receivers of any team in the NFL. I was like, well,
so he's not playing.
That sounds kind of like Mike Evans for you. What?
Yeah. So, Bucks aren't playing well. And Godwin's not playing like he's 100%, or however close you can be to 100%.
Did they give him a new deal, or did they just give him a 1-year deal?
Pretty sure he got a
3-year
tagged.
I don't know.
I thought he got a deal a year or so ago. Onward. According to, it doesn't matter who it's according to, wide receiver McCole Hardman is out for Kansas City Chiefs against the Jags. Confirmed. I don't remember his injury. Oh, abdomen. Brian, hey, here's just for giggles. Brian Dable is optimistic. Kenny Golladay can play today versus the Texans.
I'm pretty sure he's going to play.
Rondale Moore, hand, gets in a full session Thursday. Didn't have any.
For Colt McCoy, so who cares? Although Rondale Moore's
short
game
area.
is kind of... Yep. That is just saying. Just about to say. Oh, maybe.
Oh, removed from the injury report. Okay, hand. Removed from the injury report, so he's going to play. Cleveland Browns tight end David Njoku has been officially ruled out for Week 10.
That's a bummer.
Yep. And I think I touched on it. Why am I forgetting who they're playing? The Steelers, Saints. So Minka Fitzpatrick is expected to be out multiple weeks after undergoing an appendectomy. I heard some people chime in on Twitter like, dude, I had appendectomy and I was like back to work the next day or 2 days later. I'm like, yeah, but do you play football?
But
like,
you're also by stitches? That you're not going to and getting hit like in a car accident every time you get onto the football field.
I know it was
grain of salt, people. Like,
that's the most reading I did, and I was like, whatever.
Roll my eyes and just.
Mm-hmm. That's all I got. That's all I got. I double checked.
That's all you got. All right, Chris. Well, I got an ask it for a friend because David Njoku decided he wasn't going to play this week, so I need to pick up a tight end like right now. One of my options is playing right now, so there's that. That would have been Cade Otton, which really hasn't done much, so good for me. Here's my options here. They're not great, but they're also just apparently got a lot worse. What the hell happened here? I could pick up. Wow, this is nasty.
At least it's tight end. I've got some nasty, basically my RB2, asking for a friend here in a second.
Can I eliminate everyone that's like on the IR? There's a lot of tight ends on IR. Anyways, I can pick up Juwan Johnson versus
Steelers.
the Steelers. Not a bad. I mean, not
No,
great,
Mika
but
Fitzpatrick.
okay.
Fitzpatrick
he's
is a
out.
safety.
K. Dot, as I said, is already playing, so he's out.
Right.
Here's what I was thinking. Maybe Kylan Granson against the Raiders, who are giving up points to the tight end like crazy. Mo Alley Cox is questionable. Maybe he's not even going to play. Jelani Woods is out.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a stat I saw earlier, Foster Moreau is my other one. Since Darren Waller is out and the Colts are not as bad as the Raiders versus the tight end, they're also not great. Foster Moreau has done next to nothing this year, even when with Darren Waller out.
That's a little surprising. I would.
I looked into it last night, and I specifically didn't do it so we could talk about it on the show today. I just remembered to do so that's good. What do you think here? So really, it's like Kylan Granson.
For me, it's
Foster
basically down to
Moreau.
Juwan Johnson and
Juwan Johnson.
Moreau. Given what you said about Moreau, I guess I go Johnson. But as you read off the options, I was going to put Moreau at the top, right above Johnson.
Really?
But if he's done absolutely nothing, Colts are, what are they, 12th worst against the tight end in terms of
Something
fantasy
like
points per game. I don't know. Raiders have struggled. But, I mean, it's his gig today, you know. In fact, it is for, at least 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So, but Steelers are... Yeah, I think Johnson can score once, maybe, against Steelers with no Mika Fitzpatrick. I think they've got a interior linebacker. Miles Jack might still be out. Those are the guys that typically cover your tight ends.
Yeah.
I
like the take.
Flashed a little. I mean, I don't know Troutman's
Watch it be
status.
Kylan Granson.
Yeah, I know.
You know it's gonna be.
Trout. With
okay, so now I need to drop someone. It's probably gonna have to be David Njoku. I don't really have anyone else to drop. It's either that or Mike Williams.
Troutman is back, but
Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Sorry, buddy. I know you're
He still figures to
Troutman
firmly slot behind. Well, I have.
I know you're a Troutman enthusiast, but whatever.
I'm so much as Troutman's enthusiast. I also have Juwan Johnson on my dynasty roster, where I have Troutman. That was done long ago, though, and it's not really working out that great. But you're a bit desperate. Speaking of desperation, we got some questions in chat here.
Oh, okay.
ZC
Sorry, I was looking at my team.
Godwin definitely playing right now. LOL. Yeah. Really wishing I would have played Foreman from Carolina. Yeah, you think?
I played Chuba Hubbard in Friends with Benefits, and that was a giant freaking mistake.
Yeah, we can put that talk to rest now.
I believe you are 100% correct, and I was 100% wrong.
It was an early call, to be fair to both of us. It was an early. If you got it, make a choice. And both of us were like, it's going to be muddied, and it seems to be less muddied. But then again, Hubbard's been hurt, so.
I mean, so here's my take. So we're now Deonta Foreman's now what, like 3 years removed from his
something like that,
at least from his torn Achilles. Damn it, Achilles. Son of a bitch. And so maybe it's just one of those injuries, like, you know, that they say that like running backs are back after like a year off from tearing an ACL and everything, but it's really like 2 years. Maybe the Achilles is just like, it takes a long time to recover from the injury. And Foreman's just
James Robinson. I think it's a wear and tear thing. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I think with the James Robinson example we've got this year, he come out of the gates looking fine, but over the course of not even a season, over the course of a fourth of a season, if you will.
Yeah.
Couldn't, I guess the team viewed it as he looks worse, or maybe Etienne was just that much better. But to trade him, yeah, that tells me something. But he got.
I think it's really saying more. I think it's saying a lot more. I think it's saying a little bit of both, but I think it's saying a lot more about Etienne, that they were just like, oh yeah, like we need Robinson just to kind of, so Etienne gets up to playing speed, and then he got to playing speed, and they're like, all right, buddy, you're out. This guy's the man. And he has been good.
They probably did him a solid by the veteran by trading him. Honestly, they're like, hey, you could go here and start maybe, because Brees had gone down at that point. So who knows? But yeah, I think it takes you a good couple of seasons at least, or years, if you will. So speaking of desperation calls, Jaylen Warren, Pittsburgh, at Saints, or AJ Dillon versus the Cowboys. I know.
Dillon.
Or I think Pacheco's free, available.
Who are the Chiefs playing again this week?
Jacksonville, and McKinnon is out.
These are some bad options, Chris.
I know. He's been awful. He's been absolutely awful. He hasn't gotten
it's not him. The entire Chiefs run game has been atrocious.
Yeah.
I wouldn't don't just say Isaiah Pacheco, who was a 6th round pick and looks like a 6th round pick or a 7th or whatever. He was a very low pick.
Also had many carries, so
they're awful. They're so bad.
Dylan, you say?
I'm having to start him in my work league. I really don't have an option.
With Aaron Jones off the injury report?
I don't have an option. It's a must. I have to start him. AJ Dillon. I don't like it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I mean, I'm just like, and maybe I've talked myself into AJ Dillon being usable.
Benjamin technically is on my roster, but whatever.
James Conner is fully healthy, supposedly.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I mean, he didn't even start the week with an injury designation. That's how.
What? 5 wins? 5-4? Yeah. Mediocre, like usual.
Not par for the course, sir.
Yeah. Every other league, I don't Dynasty.
Know.
I'm literally, I think, 5-4 in Dynasty also, but those options are made for me pretty much.
Yeah, I was actually telling one of my FNGs at work, like we got to talking about fantasy football, and I'm like, yeah, my Dynasty squad, and this was actually on Friday, so I was telling him about like trying to trade for Kelsey, which you can talk about how BS that is in a second. And he was like, huh, so you trade draft picks? I'm like, yeah, that's a possibility. You can trade players too.
One of the most exciting parts about Dynasty, honestly.
He's like, I gotta start doing this Dynasty thing. I'm like, I mean, if you're interested next year, I kind of want to start a Dynasty, like super flex tight end premium sort of thing, like one of those two, probably not both, but and he's like, maybe, I'm like, all right, cool. Keep your name in mind, So yeah, I forgot where I was going with this. And Gino just fumbled.
That your rosters are deeper and some of your
that I'm like, I was telling him, I'm like, you don't, there's barely anyone you can rarely ever pick up as a usable tight end or a usable player off the waiver wire. Like, I got Noah Brown and I paid some money for him just because he was being okay, and it was more, here's a guy that for wide receiver depth than anything else, that has been starting and being sort of fantasy usable, like
he has a pulse.
He has a pulse, and he's getting playing time, and he's making catches too. So I was like, okay, since we're talking about the Cowboys receivers here real quick, Chris, I want to ask you about your thoughts on what's his name, the rookie,
oh gosh,
the guy who's never even seen the playing field yet.
Name starts with a T. Yeah, I'm forgetting his name, honestly.
The guy I just made a trade with has him on his roster, and I was just like, what has this
Jalen
Tolbert?
Thank you. Tolbert. T was the T I was looking for. What about him? Apparently I'm so well versed.
I mean, what do you think about him, like just this year and moving forward? And I'm asking because he's barely seen the playing field in a stretch where Noah Brown was playing over him. They really could have used this guy. They spent a 2nd or 3rd round pick on him too. That's not nothing in the NFL.
He played 43% snaps week 8 versus Chicago.
Cool.
That's it. That's all he did. I think he's just not ready. He played at South Alabama, so
he's a project.
Yeah, exactly. He's a project. I think
It's a high
Steve,
draft pick for a project, but
second round pick. I think it was.
was he a second? I thought he was a third.
Maybe
but
third. Maybe third. That makes more sense.
That's a lot. I mean, a second round pick for a project is pretty steep.
Yeah, I agree. But they also had at the time a pretty with a healthy Gallup, which they didn't have at the beginning of the year. But moving, big picture, they thought if we have a healthy Gallup, we should have a pretty good receiver room. I think they deferred to Noah Brown because of a veteran. He's earned it. The chemistry with the backup quarterback, Cooper Rush. I think the pursuit of Odell Beckham Jr.
Third round pick.
Thank you. I think the pursuit of Odell Beckham Jr. confirms that Tolbert's not ready, but also more as an indictment upon Gallup. Either just health-wise isn't back, or just, I don't know.
Like we were talking about earlier, didn't Gallup tear his ACL last year?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, so I just think that he is not 100%. He's probably close to 100% is he going to be this year, but he's just not at 100%. And all the hoopla about them talking about Odell Beckham, which makes me kind of worry. That guy tore his ACL in the Super Bowl. That's the end or the beginning of February.
Yeah, what the hell? I don't know about the ACL. Meaning,
it's different. It's different with wide receivers and running backs. Running backs need to cut a lot more than a wide receiver.
But yeah, I mean, he's playing snaps. Gallup is. I just haven't seen a whole lot from him in terms of production. I don't know. I'm a little worried about that. So Tolbert he's not going to be ready, to answer your original question. Till next year.
I would have liked to have seen the Cowboys trade for Brandon Cooks.
Absolutely. I'd have loved to.
I really wanted the Packers to do so, but I think the Packers' offensive line is just so terrible that they can't protect Aaron Rodgers long enough for him to push the ball down the field.
This is after a bye. Maybe Gallup takes another step forward. Schultz has to be mentioned. He should be as close to 100% as he's going to get. So remember, he caught 90 balls last year, or darn near it. And I expected him to do that. Dalton Schultz at the tight end position. So, I think Schultz and CD, and then whoever you want to get in third, a healthier Gallup maybe, or Odell Beckham Jr., which, again, how helpful is he going to be? Maybe in the playoffs? I don't know. By playoffs, I mean real life NFL playoffs, not fantasy. I don't know. A little hit or miss.
So earlier I said I had to start A.J. Dillon. Here are my options here. I'm going to try and pick up Jalen Warren. So this is going to be a two-part thing. Here's my options at running back that I can pick up off the waiver wire, because my other running backs are J.K. Dobbins, who's injured, and Chuba Hubbard, who's already played, and think we didn't play him in this league, and that's it. And Ramondre Stevenson, who is on bye. So,
your options besides what you got on waivers there?
No, so my waiver options are I'm going to name you the best ones I think are available. Chase Edmonds, Naeem Hines, no.
Yeah, I'm not starting him.
Brian Robinson.
Might get a touchdown.
Jalen Warren is out there, and I'm going to try and pick him up here, but I need to drop someone to pick up Jalen Warren. There's also Cam Akers available too. There's other guys, but they've already played. They're either playing right now or they've already played. So,
the command. I just forgot his name. Robinson is probably the play, but he's playing the Eagles at Philly. Philly's really good against the run.
From what I've seen of him, he's just so.
I want to say Jalen Warren,
mundane.
But it's more of a cocky glory play than anything. I'm playing him in a league where I have 3 wins, and I'm playing him against a Steelers fan, just because. And he's like the commissioner of the league. And,
because you're an asshole.
Yeah, just whatever. Okay, it'd be great if he pops off, but I don't necessarily
pick up Jalen Warren.
Mm-hmm. I don't like recommending starting Jalen Warren. He was my sleeper.
Can I drop Chuba Hubbard? Because that would be freaking awesome if I could.
Probably. Oh, because he's already played. Yeah, it depends on app league. ZC says Freiermuth or Schultz for tight end this week, asking for a friend. Not Freiermuth because he plays the Saints.
I like Schultz.
Yeah, I like Schultz. Yep, definitely Schultz.
I like Schultz this week.
Yep, me too.
I guess you could call him a tight end streamer because most tight ends are tight end streamers. I'd have probably made it one of my tight end streamers this week, but
again, roster percentage is very high. It's got to be
Yeah.
80% or something. Same thing with Firemoose.
I
honestly.
never actually look at Robert's roster percentage. Just like this is a guy who's not on a very good team, and probably no one has him, you know. Or if he is highly rostered, no one's barely starting him, you know.
Sure.
That
What
sort
did
of
I
thing.
do? I did.
I can't believe it let me do that. I dropped Chuba Hubbard and picked up Jalen Warren.
Kate Otten was
Frickin'
my
nice.
number one tight end streamer, and Evan Ingram was my other one versus the Chiefs. FYI. But you've got better options there, ZC. It's just Freiermuth has an awful matchup.
Yeah, it's true. Chris, would you like to air some grievances about my trade?
I don't know. It's just
Or is it frustration?
a guy
or is
who's 6-3 just giving away, any chance he has of winning games, and you with one loss just gets better. It's obnoxious. And the fact that it was for basically a second-round pick and Rashad White, who's not going to do a damn thing this year, clearly.
He's having an okay game.
Okay, good. Yeah, what, 6 points and a half-point PPR?
I don't. No, they just showed he has 14 rushes and 60-some yards or something. It's not bad.
Yep, 65 yards, 4.64 per carry, 6.5 half-point PPR games. Are they done yet? Can't tell from this. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't usually wish injury upon players, especially a great fantasy asset like Kelsey. I just hate you, basically. That's what it comes down to. That and I think 2 seconds. I think 2 seconds was more palatable, and the fact that you talked him down and he acquiesced is obnoxiously obnoxious.
It took some. It took some negotiating.
Yeah, that doesn't make me.
We were so here's my question to you: when you're proposing trades to people, are you just sending a trade offer out and then that's it?
No, I don't do that. No, I don't usually do that. There's instances where I know I have a solid offer to offer that I will, but not lately, especially with Eckler. I literally
no. I meant are you just sending the trade offer and that's it? Because what I did to him is because we were trading trades back and forth, and then I figured out how to direct DM him in the GroupMe app, and so I did that.
What I do? I DM.
Okay.
In fact, I DM'd 3 people about Eckler. Same bullshit from a month ago. 3 weeks.
Who were they? If you don't mind me asking.
Same. Shane, Keith, and Towson. Dave, I think is his first name.
I guess Titans. Keith lowballed you no.
Yeah, they're all teams that have a. No, he just made this. I didn't. We never got that far. He just gave me the same BS about not being all in, not willing to give up the first.
I am officially all in now.
I looked at your draft picks. I was like, holy crap! I was like, is that just 1 year? Oh my god, that's 2 years worth.
It's 2 years.
Or
I have 5 draft picks over the next 2 years, and they're all. Oh no, I have 3 now.
Yeah, exactly. ZC, both Dak obviously was hurt, and Schultz was hurt too. They should be good now. They should be good. They should rekindle that connection. Yeah, so that's basically what it is. I'm targeting teams with winning records, playoff aspirations. Yeah, you could make the argument that Shane's.
Did you go after Shard Attack?
No, he doesn't have any. I don't think he has any first-round picks left.
Oh, he's in the same boat as me.
Or at the very least, he doesn't have one for 2023, which is what I really want. And I'm not going to get it. I'm just not going to get it. So
at this point, no, you're probably not.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. There's just no way. So, it's frustrating because he's the best running back in fantasy.
No, he doesn't have any first or second round picks in the next 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. So he's all in again. And hey, his record's good enough. I can't blame him. Its value is in the eye of the beholder. Where did his draft picks
go? That's what I'm very interested in.
I'm pretty sure he dealt some in the previous season also.
For what?
Probably running backs. I don't remember.
Which ones?
I don't remember.
Maybe Dalvin and Saquon, perhaps. Other than that, man, he doesn't have
Saquon.
Good running
Definitely.
Backs.
Saquon was this year, I think. No, I don't remember. But Saquon was one of them in the past year or two.
Okay.
So yeah. Just again, values in the eye of the beholder, and if nobody's willing to give me, then Eckler's not as valuable as he was. I think people are being a little premature on his age, but then again, I'm from a biased point of view. I'm the one trying to deal him. So,
yeah. Well, that's one thing I was going to bring
I
up.
also
to
looked
you,
up
too, is that,
Rashad
like,
White's age versus Eckler's age. Yeah, it's like 3 years, but White's about to turn like 24. Like he's an old rookie or something. Let me vet that. I might be speaking out of my ass.
Audio booty. You would like to ask us a few questions?
23-year-old. January is his birthday, so he's about to turn 24.
That's an older rookie running back.
Exactly.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did because I looked it up.
He's actually looked pretty good. I like what I said earlier. It was I'm like he's looked kind of good. He's made some good runs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
don't get
like
me wrong, it's a great young running back to, I quote unquote, take a chance on. But you made a really good point Thursday night about how long is Brady going to be there. And again, that's probably why you're willing to deal him. But I think Shane should have thought about a couple of these things. A 24-year-old running back next year, and
he also asked for Zamir White, and I quickly shut that down. I'm like, no, you get one or the other.
I'd have walked away. I'd have walked away from the not getting the second. Said that right. I'd have been like, no.
Well, I gave him the "it's not you, it's me," which I didn't realize until after I sent that message to him. I was like, I'm not really like I'm just having a hard time coming to giving up 2 seconds, and so I gave him another option of like J.K. Dobbins and Gerald Everett for a second. Would you have done that? I can't hear you.
Test. We back?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, weird.
Very odd. I was about to restart, but okay.
I think it was definitely me. I think it was voice speeder, or I
Anyways.
messed with the USB on my mic too much.
Anyways, yeah. If he wasn't like, I even went back to the 2 seconds, and I was like, I mean, I'll do this if I have to, but here's an alternative too, and more or less the deal that we got done, and he agreed to it. I'm like, this is my final offer though. I'm like, Rashad White in 2 seconds, or this one, either one.
No, it was easy.
Yeah, I was otherwise I was just gonna walk away. You know, it's like, well, we're not getting this done. You know, I've given it my best shot. I probably would have dug, or if he would have dug in and been like, I also want Gerald Everett in your seconds, and Rashad White have been like, fine.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would have done if I was him. I could see the first, given what's happening with Eckler. I could see the first not being in play. Obviously, you didn't have a first. I'm just talking about, in general, if that's what he was looking for. So the 2 seconds, and the young not so young running back, I guess, made me feel better in terms of, yeah, that's good. And then it comes back with like
a little surprised that he didn't ask for.
I mean, third and fourth round picks are basically worthless. That's the way I look at it.
It's true. I'm really surprised he didn't ask for Fournette as well, and then be like, "Hey, I just like that way I have the entire backfield." I'm like, fine, whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. Again, yeah, I think he could have done better.
He probably should have.
And you're gonna repeat, so I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
That's not true. At this point, last year we thought, like, I was winning games, but I was like, dude, Keith is gonna win this, you know, like. And then he got some injuries and whatever, and
I even looked it up. I was like, because I hate you and Keith. I was like, I bet Keith repeated also. No, Keith has never repeated. We've never had a repeat champion ever.
It's really hard to do in Dynasty. That's why, like, Charts came up with that Empire League thing of like, you win half the pot, and if you repeat, you win the entire. You win that growing pot. And then the league resets again because obviously someone has a really good team and the league needs to be reset anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Code Brown in the inaugural year 2017. Vince was his name. He stuck around for quite a few years. It was sad to see him go. Same thing with Frozen Tundarians. He won the next year in 2018, and then when it's in the championship game 2019, of which
Oh.
Arizona Green and Gold won. They're still with us, I think. Arizona
Yeah.
Green and Gold. Yep. And then
Falling on hard teams, but he's really been beefing. There's a couple of teams that have been really amassing draft picks.
Then 2020 was Keith versus Shard Attack. I thought Shard Attack had won one. He's just been very close to winning one. So Keith beat Shard Attack last year, and then of course you beat Keith last year. I'm sorry. Yeah. Keith beat Shard Attack year before last. You beat Keith last year.
Yeah.
All right.
An amazing stroke of luck.
Let's skedaddle and quit boring people with our dynasty talk.
If you want to, okay.
Got our questions answered from Chad. I don't have any other good ones for anybody.
I really only had the one.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Doesn't make me feel any better. So yeah, I need Amon-Ra to be like I made him in my favorite Fave 5. My favorite Fave 5. He needs to have a wide receiver 1 type of week across all my leagues because I have him there.
But Bears, right? Yeah, it's possible.
Yep. I need that Bears game, Lions game to be a shootout. Watch, it'll be 12-3 now.
I was gonna say, like, you're expecting a lot of points, and I'm like, it could easily be the exact opposite.
I know. Division opponents. Sometimes that's how it works out. But come on now, it's the Lions defense. And the Bears have been really bad too. They've been hemorrhaging points, one might say.
Yeah, their best corner is out. He's their best corner being out this week.
Yep. So, Amon-Ra, wheels up. In about an hour. Eckler has to be Eckler. Jaylen Warren has to be the next coming of Adrian Peterson. I don't know why that's the name I threw out. I was trying to think of a classic guy.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
There you go.
One of the greatest running backs of all time.
Undrafted. LaDainian Tomlinson. No, you know what I mean. LT was drafted. Jaylen Warren, I believe, was a undrafted free agent.
Was he?
Yep. Maybe a 6th round. Now I want to know. Now I didn't hit that tab button that I thought I hit it.
Undrafted.
There you go.
Okay, so we'll call him the next Arian Foster.
Yes. Oh, Gaga was hurt a lot.
Towards the end of his career, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the beginning.
No, I targeted, what term do I want to say? Premium, key, undrafted free agents, and in Dynasty ads. That's where I spent a lot of my fab. No, a lot of my preseason fab, should I say.
Yeah, your slew of Cowboys useless running backs that will never see the field.
No, that wasn't any of them. They weren't prioritized in that.
I know they were all in season, but I was just like, what are you doing?
Trying to get the backup to the backup, basically, because
to the backup.
No, because Zeke's dead. Dude, there's only 3 on the freaking roster at any one time, and it was Rico. Well, it was Malik Davis, and he got hurt at the beginning of the season, like preseason, so it became Rico Dowdle, I think is how you say it, because they had him on the roster. They've been using him.
Hey, Chris.
And they back around to Malik Davis. But
Kenneth
no,
Walker can catch.
What's that?
Kenneth Walker can catch the ball. He just caught the ball.
Yeah, he can catch it quite well. He's one of the best running backs in all of fantasy and the NFL.
Okay. Bold statement. Not really. Anyways, I'm ready to go. Caught another one. I lost you again. I don't know what you're doing. All right. So, I don't know if we're getting any sound from
We're
me,
back.
but okay.
The fuck?
I don't know what Chris is doing over there, but you know,
You can hear me
let's
now.
get out of here. Let's get out of here.
I wanted to like 12 minutes ago. All right, bye everybody.
Bye. Good luck.